Hi there, hello, greetings, welcome once again to, first of all, I'm Clifford Bates, and welcome once again to reading Machiavelli's Discourses. Today we're continuing Book 1, and we're looking at Chapter 24. Now, Chapter 24 is this continuation of a theme that was done basically in Chapter 22, where he dealt with the three, Horatai and this discussion. And at the end of that chapter, he lists in the middle of the chapter, it's a short chapter, and he lists three things that should be done. He dismissed at the end of that first, and at 24, to this chapter, he will look at the middle, the second opposite thing. And that is, as the title says, well-ordered republics institute rewards and punishments for their citizens. So, and never counterbalance the one with the other. Okay? So therefore the question is, in other words, well-ordered republic institutes rewards and punishments for their citizens, and never counterbalance the one with the other. Okay? Now, he goes, the merits, and this has basically two paragraphs. The merits of Herodotus were very great. And since his virtue, the merits of Herodotus were very great, and since with his virtue he had conquered the Curatai, his fault was atrocious, since he had killed his sister. Nonetheless, such a homicide was so greatly displeased the Romans that they brought him to trial for his life, notwithstanding his merits were so great and so fresh. In other words, the Romans demanded that he pay the crime, even though he merited. We're not gonna not do it because he was so great. So, to whomever considers it superficially, such a thing would appear an example of popular ingratitude. Nonetheless, whoever examines it better and inquires with better considerations what the orders of the Republic should be, will blame that people rather for having absolved him than for having wished to condemn him. In other words, they would look at him and they would say that they would look at him, and those who understand this better and who concern it would actually chastise them for not challenge. I mean, the argument is superficially you think, they were ingrateful by condemning him, not condemning, but to try them or to bring him to trial. In other words, it would look like popular ingratitude, right? Whoever considers superficial would appear that them bringing him to trial for doing this was in popular ingratitude. That's not the case. Whoever looks at it, better and inquires for the better consideration of what orders of republic should be, will blame the people not for wishing to condemn him, but absolving him. The reason is this: that no well-ordered republic can cancel the demerits with the merits of its citizens. In other words, merits should never be used. A good republic should not use the merits to cancel the demerits. But having ordered rewards for a good work and punishments for a bad one, and having rewarded one for having worked well, if that same one later works badly, it punishes him without any regard for his good works. When these orders are well observed, a city lives free for a long time. Otherwise, it will always come to ruin soon. In other words, if you don't, you say, "Oh yeah, he did this great. We're not going to punish him," even though the punishment deserves to be punished. Okay. For a citizen has done some outstanding work for the city, and on top of that, the reputation that this thing brings him. He has an audacity and confidence that can do some work that is not good without fearing punishment for a short time. he will become so insolent that any civility will be dissolved. In other words, this is, I've done so much important, good things for you. You can't punish me for this. The question is, this will be what? That it becomes so insolvent for the. But this is if the city is good. In other words, you have to understand that if the republic is well ordered. If the republic is not well ordered and things are corrupted and things like this, then to continue this may be. So therefore, this is the question. In a well-ordered reward should, in punishment, institute rewards and punishments, and that one should never do this, right? And that he said, because the thing is, if you've done good things, you get audacity and confidence. And this will lead him to do maybe thinking that without audacity and confidence to do what I want, and that this, and not fear punishment. Well, this, in a short time, this will become insolent, that any civility or civil order will be dissolved, right? The order for this. And it'll create arrogance in a sense. And arrogance is very dangerous in that sense. 2, second paragraph. If one wished punishment for benevolent works to be kept up, it is indeed necessary to observe the giving of rewards. In other words, if one wishes the punishment for benevolent works to be kept up, it is indeed necessary to observe the giving of merits for good ones, as was seen Rome did. Although a republic may be poor and able to give little, it should not abstain from that little. For every small gift given to anyone in recompense for the good, however great, will always be esteemed by him who receives it as honorable and very great. The history of Herotai Cordicus is very well known. In Livy 1, right? This is to dispute, or to be disputed, right? This is. No, 2, sorry, we got note 2, sorry, not 1. Sorry. Livy 2, chapters 10 and 11, and then the next note is from Livy 2, 12, 13. And that of Marcus Scaverus, as the one held back at the enemy at the bridge until it was cut, and the other burned his own hand that had erred when it tried to kill Pontilius, king of the Tuscans. Porcenia, the king of the Tuscans. For these 2 such outstanding works, 2 statari of lands, 2 things of lands were given by the public to each of them, right? Again, this is noticed at Livy 2nd. It was said that the statue of Herodotus was put up, and he was given much land as to be plowed around one day. In Livy 2, 13, it's like Livy 13, section 13, which says that Marcus received the field across the Tiber, which came to be known as the Mulcian fields. Niccolò Machiavelli's statio is the Tuscan measure of uncertain extent, perhaps equivalent to a Roman jungurum, the amount of 2 oxen could plow, not plowed around, not plowed around, but plow completely in one day. So therefore, each of them, you have to give them, the lands are given to them. And he uses a Tuscan term, not the Latin term, so that's interesting. This is equivalent to maybe, as the note suggests. The history of Manlius Capitolinus is also known. We talked about it earlier. He was condemned, right? He was condemned by saying he started saying slanders against the other consul, and therefore he was challenged to do this. He was condemned, right? For having saved the capital from the French who were encamped there. He was given a small measure of flour by those who were besieged inside with him. Right, this is Livy. Machiavelli admits this small amount of wine also was given to him as well. He admits the wine. Maybe the wine may be the reason for slander, right? That reward was great, according to the fortune then current in Rome, and of such quantity that when Manlius was moved later by his envy or by his wicked nature to arouse sedition in Rome, and sought to gain the people for himself, he was without any respect for his merits thrown headlong from the Capitol, that before with so much glory for himself he had saved, right? So therefore he, in other words, he was given such a small remark. In other words, it was for the time it was good, but even that when it came time to be charged for his sedition, he, even though he was a hero of the Republic, he was condemned for his actions, and thrown off the Capitol from the thing he himself saved, right? So, and it's also important to remember, Montesquieu highlights it, that this was one of the things, that it's important that he was only condemned by keeping the people from seeing the Capitol, right? He was held in a place where the people could not look at the Capitol and be remembered of it. So therefore, that's another thing that Machiavelli himself mentions elsewhere, and that Montesquieu in his Spirit of Laws also mentions. But I just highlight that. So therefore, this is some of the points. Let's say, does anyone have any comments? If you have any comments, please put them in the comment section, or any questions, comments, or things like this, and I'll address them when I see them. If you like it, hit the like button, helping everything. So commenting and liking help. If you've liked it, share it on your social media. Share it far and wide. Share it to your friends. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Consider subscribing. Encourage others to come check the channel out and get them to subscribe also. Again, remember, commenting, liking, sharing and subscribing all increases the algorithm, so people are able to find us more. They come to Livy on searches for things. It grows attention to the site and these videos. If you had a problem or you didn't like it, you can always thumbs down it, but say why in the comments. Explain your reason in the comments. This way we can maybe learn, okay, or benefit from your criticism. Another thing you can do is, if you want to follow me on social media, you can follow my links below. The links are listed below, my social media links. If you want to know more about me as a researcher and a scholar and check out my scholarship, you can check it out at the academic social media links. They're listed below. And if you want to know, want to help me do what I do, contribute, you can do so through Patreon or Subscribestar, or by buying one of my books. Or buy one of my books. You can do this if you've not already bought them. Maybe you want to buy another copy for a friend or a gift or something. You can always buy the book. You can do so through your local bookstore, of course. Always try to help your local distributors and book companies. We have a favorite bookstore. Order from them, it helps them. But if you want to get, you can save money. You can go through online distributors, such as Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Libris, Book Depository, or some similar places, or order it directly through the publisher. Well, that's it. We will now turn to the next chapter and our next thing. See you next time. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.